Hello, everyone. This is Jeff Bish, president of MarketGauge.com again, and just bringing you another trades and tutorials video from the MarketGauge.com Little Big View section of our free resources. So if you're not familiar with MarketGauge.com, check it out. Go to the resources section, and you'll find a product called Little Big View, completely free, and it will give you all kinds of information on ETFs, market internals, and videos like this to help you trade better, analyze the markets better, and maybe even give you some trade ideas at the same time. So recently, about last week, maybe 10 days ago, I did a video on looking for different ways to play a bottom in crude oil. And I'm just following up with that because I did something the other day kind of instinctively, and I realized, this might be helpful for some people out there. So on the surface, what I did was really simple. I just decided that since I was looking at these four charts that are all related, so here I've got the XLE over on the left and OIH next to it, and XOP, and then USO. So the reason I'm doing this, if you missed the last video, is because this is a daily chart of USO. It's been totally clobbered. If I showed you the weekly, I'm sure you know what it looks like. It looks like someone fell off a cliff. The magenta line here is the 50-day moving average, and there's a particular pattern down here in the bottom, both here and on the weekly, that made it look like maybe USO was going to bottom. That's covered in the last video. And so my point was, part of the pattern had to do with the fact that USO is still going down, but these related energy ETFs were not going down, and in some cases actually had started to turn up. So I brought that to your attention, and what I want to bring to your attention right now is basically one, if you look at the markets this way, when you're looking at related instruments, you can really see some important relationships. And so again, if I look at XLE broke out nicely over this, let's call it the December high. But the OIH really hasn't broken out over that level. It's still struggling with it. So they're both over the 50, but it's still struggling right there. And the XOP really broke out first, retraced back down to it, now moved up higher. So XOP has been the strongest in this relative performance. And so that relationship becomes really evident when you look at it. So the thing I want to point out right now is that you've got USO struggling at its 50. Now, USO may or may not be the greatest instrument to look at for the price of crude with the way things are trading now, but for now, it's good enough for this analysis. And so the thought process here is that if crude breaks out through this top here, be back over the 50, could be good for a nice punch higher. If that happens, these other indexes look like they're in good shape to participate, and you might look at XLE with kind of a stop below that line, and XOP, I'm not sure how where the great stop is on that one, and OIH, I don't really like the way it's had trouble here, but if it starts to break out and you want a tight stop, looks like it could move. Now, the other reason that I look at the markets this way is because, well, I'm not going to go over these indicators. I can also see how these indicators are lining up. So these are triple play indicators. If you want to learn more about triple play, you can find information about it on our site. Currently, it's not readily available. But those of you who do have it, this is a great way to use it in the sense that when you see, if the markets pull back and you see all of these, so this is the leadership line, this is evaluating price action, this is evaluating volume action, so all of them are still in good shape. We want the blue line over the red line, that means they're in good shape. And no surprise that XOP actually had the biggest looking volume spread here, and it wound up being the strongest. So I can see how all of these things are trading together. If the market, coming back to crude, if crude pulls back here, I'm going to watch to see where these things hold. XOP should really hold around the 50, but if it's a weak pullback, we might see a bounce off the 10 again, kind of like we did here. XLE, I really want to see it hold these highs right here, but the 10's right under it. So the 10 is an area I might look for a bounce to pick it up on a pullback. All right. If it pulls back further than that, then I think it's time to wait and see, and we'll see that it might be time for it to come back to the 50, which is the magenta line. And in all of these, that's got some room to fall, and with the OIH being the weakest one, I'd actually expect there's a good chance it'll fall through the 50. So when I add all that up, here's the game plan, and it's easy to see when you pretty much just set your charts up like this. Now, I have them vertically because I want to be able to see my triple play indicators. If I didn't have the triple play indicators, as you guys have probably seen in my other charts, it would be a slightly different setup where I'd have my charts like this would be one, this would be another, so I could see more to the left, but I needed it vertically because of these special indicators. So the game plan here, keep an eye on USO. Whichever way this breaks, you'll be able to see which one of these move the nicest. My guess is you're probably going to see the biggest move out of XOP or XLE, but I could be wrong. So OIH is worth keeping an eye on too. If it continues to waffle here and we see a pullback to the 10 in the XOP, could be a good opportunity for buying near the low of the day. If you're on our email list, you're probably getting emails about buying near the low of the day. Hopefully you'll show up for that because this would be a perfect example, buy near the low of the day right at the 10-day moving average, either in the XOP or right now I tend to favor the XLE. So XLE at the 10, if we were to get a reversal there, that would be a really tight stop. Good way to take a shot at it. I did something similar down in here against these stops. All right, so again, hope the setup helps. If you've got the triple play indicators, set them up like this because this is a great way to see which one is the strongest, which ones might be breaking down in ways you can't see in the price action. Hope that helps, and I'll see you all in the next video.